Alright, welcome everybody for another cast of SpecFriendly. Uh, we're back here with me, Dom, and JKdaPlague, or I like to call him James. Our casting my high elo friend, the Swag King. You've probably seen him on streams. He's about 2200 elo. One of the things I do like to note is he does like to run Ghost Flash on all of his 80 carries. It's pretty interesting. He does really well though. We'll see how well he does in this game. Uh, Notable matchups are the jungles. We do have a Karthus jungle versus a jungle Alistair, so this is going to be very fun to watch. We do have a bot lane that's most likely going to be... So okay, never mind. It's just going to be Soraka Caitlyn versus Ashe Janna. So we're most likely going to see this lane actually go in favor of the Ashe Janna, although I don't know for sure yet. It's mostly going to be mechanical skills. We do have our mid lane matchups, Morgana versus Kennen. That is actually a very tough matchup for Kennen. But, you know, we'll see. I think both of their team fights are actually really strong. And top will be Nidalee versus... Oh, sorry, Nidalee versus Nidalee versus Kennen. And we're going to see that Ahri versus Morgana mid. My bad. My apologies. Let's see if this Nidalee's going AD or AP. Okay, she is going to go AD Nidalee. So she will go AD Nidalee versus Kennen. I think Nidalee does win that lane matchup. What do you think, James?
Nidalee is just wins. A good Nidalee can like win every lane matchup, in my opinion. Like it doesn't even matter. Nidalee's so hard to catch. She can control the brushes really well. She has those traps to stop ganks from happening because they get vision on them. And so she's just so hard to gank anyways. And then in lane, she has such good range. No matter what, her spears actually do a decent amount of damage, even if she's not AP. So.
Also, guys, one thing to note is we do promise you in the future that there will be other people casting other than us, so you will hear more people as we get this thing rolling. I just want to make a quick shout out to that. We do plan on getting more casters for our channel. That way you do have a little bit of variety. But as of right now, you are stuck with James and I, and we are more like dictators as we just want to rule everything. So, guys, deal with it. That was a joke. I hate. So, like I said, though, one thing to note is that the Swag King really does enjoy using Ghost Flash on all of his 80 carries. I don't know why I've never asked him. I don't really care to ask him. He's really good. So I'm never going to doubt him, because he always usually wins lane.
From my opinion, it kind of allows that mobility that allow an AD carry to kind of get into position a lot better. Also escape, you know, from people chasing you a lot better. Since a lot of bridges like to go for the AD carry, so it will allow her to not take that much damage and allow her to get in a better position. So
yeah, now one of the things to note is how well this Ahri can push the lane against the Morgana. And so when Ahri roams, she doesn't really lose any EXP or gold, or is Morgana just going to control the lane? So whenever Ahri feels like she needs to gank, she has to, you know, lose that gold advantage. She's going to have to lose the EXP. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on Ahri to actually get those kills if Morgana plays this lane right.
hopefully Ahri can deal with it, push the lane, do what Ahri's love to do in gank. This is higher ELO, 2200, so we probably will see bigger plays from people, but I never know. It is solo queue. And solo queue is always so random sometimes.
As Scar says, watch him stream through Elo Hell, and Scar's 2300, so...
Oh, we actually have Aerodactyl in this game, too. I actually recognize him. Very well known among the top yellow players. That's like one of the most awesome names, like, ever.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I was watching Support Only the other day. He was playing against my friend the Swag King, so... That's pretty cool.
And it looks like they are coming in for this blue invasion. Alistar just so fast. Does he have?
But as you see right there, that Nidalee, how fast she was just with the brush because of her passive, and that's why she's such a hard lane matchup. Because when she does control those brushes, she is very mobile and she's very hard to catch. But it does look like blue team is planning to actually engage on this red team who's at their blue buff. So you might see something.
They can check bushes with Karthus Q and then follow it up with the Dark Binding, and then they're going to find Alistar. Alistar actually going in without his team, forcing a flash, but Karthus taking so much damage, does get ignited on. Can they pick it up? And Soraka will actually pick up first blood on the Alistar.
Yeah. And a great heal by Soraka and a great
And now Ahri is caught out of position by this Nidalee. Nidalee doing lots of damage. Janna is forced. Oh, the Dark Binding is going to catch Ahri, and Nidalee's
amazing. A 2-for-0 exchange in favor of the blue team, and this is going to mean Karthus is actually... What's he going to do? Is he not going to back? He's gonna try and do this.
Definitely gonna
Yeah, he's
get a
gonna try and
strong
do this
leash.
blue buff.
Definitely want. Probably, yeah, he's gonna use this time to get ahead. He's gonna take some good amount of damage. It looks like Soraka's gonna stay back, heal him up a little bit, and he's gonna take that blue buff
Yeah,
for
and I want
himself.
to give major props to the Nidalee and the Caitlyn and the Soraka. Karthus was bursted and ignited, and Soraka threw a really clutch heal down with her spell that actually gave or saved Karthus from dying from the ignite. Meanwhile, Nidalee was throwing tons of traps to give her team as much vision as possible, and Caitlyn threw a great trap right behind, I think it was the Alistair. No, the Kennen, and so Kennen took a lot of damage from that. I don't know if Kennen actually died. I don't think he did, but it ended up being a 2-0 exchange in favor of Blue Team, and it just gave Blue Team that advantage they really needed.
And look at what Soraka has at 2.5 minutes. She already has her gold per 5, and so that is just going to be so much gold. And it looks like Ari gets caught in the Dark Bind in 2 minutes as well. She gets put very low and is forced to flash.
Yeah, and that's not good at all. I mean, I don't know if Morgana... Yeah, so Morgana did use her Ignite only in that team fight, though, the one at Blue Buff. So Morgana's Ignite's on cooldown. Ari only has Ignite up as her summoner now, so she doesn't have that flash. It's going to give Morgana... Morgana's going to feel really safe right now because Morgana still has her flash, so she can be as aggressive as she wants. Not really afraid of that Alistair jungle because of her Black Shield.
Definitely doesn't need to be. Ari is too low to do anything.
Yeah, and if you think about it, this is a great team to counter Alistair. I mean, you have Nidalee, who's pretty much ungankable. You have a Soraka Caitlyn.
And there's the flash from the Morgana. Does miss the Dark Binding, though. That would have been a very clutch kill. Putting Ari very low and then trying to kill her with the Dark Binding, but unfortunately missing it. So now she does not have flash, so Alistar might be able to get a gank on her despite her, winning the lane before. And it looks like, yes, maybe he wants to come down. He is heading down right now.
I think this Morgana is actually going to back after the wave. And no, she doesn't. She could die from
And here
this.
he comes. Here comes the Black Shield. No, it looks like Morgana just going to run away. Morgana is pretty fast.
Yeah, I think she might be running movement speed Quince.
And here comes, Karthus here to catch this,
Great.
Karthus, Alistar, but he's just going to turn around, and Karthus coming and dying at a horrible time. Morgana has no mana. She does not have enough mana to shield herself. Again, Alistar might be faster. He will pick up the kill with his headbutt. So that's 2
Yeah,
kills
I
in the
don't think
favor
that
of
was a
Red Team.
great play by the blue team at all. That was an engagement that you probably shouldn't have done. Morgana was kind of so she couldn't really cast that many spells. As you saw, she was only able to really cast the Dark Binding and her Tormented Soil, and then wasn't really able to do much. And actually, Karthus was really low in itself too, and he ended up dying to Ari's Q from the true damage. So even though he had the Black Shield on him, Ari's true damage was still really good. So
And looks like down in bot lane, it is just a farm lane. Nothing. Looks like no one has taken any damage at all.
yeah, that's usually gonna happen whenever you're playing with the Soraka because she can just
Soraka
pretty much
Caitlyn, no
yeah.
less.
I mean, it's one of those lanes where people are like, I don't like it, but I mean,
You do what you
it's
can.
really good against an Alistar jungle because it makes it really hard for Alistar to gank through. So it's not that bad.
If we look at the CS, looks like Caitlyn is winning that lane just a little bit. Actually, Janna taking a lot of damage there from that
Yeah,
Peacemaker.
and we actually might see Alistar going for a gank top lane, but he might hit one of these traps, which will give him away.
So many
And,
traps, and this is just why Nidalee is so good
and
up
in fact,
top.
he's gonna go just clear up the traps and run away.
Yeah, definitely that's what he needs to do. Just make her waste that mana throwing down traps, but I mean those don't cost that much, so it's not really that big of a deal for Nidalee. That's what makes Nidalee such a good top laner, really, is that she has those traps. She doesn't need to buy wards early. That's why Hotshot probably likes playing her so early. But we still a gank on mid as Karthus, but
Oh,
Karthus gets
wow.
hit by the charm and takes so much damage from Ari.
Yeah, and Arthas just really wants to kill this Ari right now because Ari has his double buff, and he really wants that back, but it really looks like Ari's just really strong right now, and those 2 kill advantages, she did back, she did pick up a double Doran's, while Morgana only really got to pick up 1 Doran's, but Morgana did pick up a ward, and you do see Alistar in the jungle right now of the blue team kind of looking for that Karthus, but...
And it looks like he is going to go on this. There is the Ignite, and oh yes, nice play from Alistar, taking the turret aggro
And
from
while we
Ari.
saw that, actually the Swag King, or the Caitlyn, actually does pick up a kill on the Janna, so he's actually doing pretty well in his lane, but right now... Red team actually did pick up 3 kills within really fast of each other, and they're really shutting down this Karthus and this Morgana, and that's not really looking too well for the blue team.
Definitely not. Definitely you want to try and keep the gold income coming in with jungle Karthus. And he really needs to get a couple more ganks off with his wall. That wall is like the reason that why people like to run jungle Karthus. Those ganks can be very scary because That wall can just slow so much, reduce that armor and magic resist by a big chunk. But he really hasn't been able to get a good gank off at all. And it looks like Nidalee has hit 6. It might be a little hard for Kennen to deal with it now.
Yeah, and Italy can always just get really tanky just because of her innate tankiness from her Cougar form. Also that when she does get her Merc Treads, it's just going to be a pain in Kennen right now, and he's not going to really be able to do much.
We see her just completely now zoning out Kennen with that range of her auto attacks, and then she's alive.
I don't know.
And out in mid, Morgana is using her ulti on this Ahri. Does manage to tick, and there's the Karthus ulti to help with the kill, and looks like Karthus will pick up the kill. Definitely wanted to give that to Karthus.
That was a great kill mid. And also to note, I don't know if Kennen is going AD or AP, because some Kennens do like to go AD just in the beginning when they're playing against a bruiser, because it helps them with their W. But we'll see right now.
Yeah, it does have his revolver, though.
Yeah, so he is going to go AP, but he does have 83 attack damage right now, so... He was trying to get an early advantage on Italy so he could trade with some pokes on with his W, but it ended up not really working out well for him, and Italy took the early lane advantage.
Italy will always take that early. I think this lane will just completely snowball in favor of Italy. Kennen actually missing a shuriken. Oh, but he is going to stop Italy from backing in that bush, and Kennen might go really aggressive on this. He does have his ultimate. He does not seem to have the energy, though. Does manage to land the stun. There's the follow-up ulti from Kennen. The ignite goes down, and the ignite will probably tick down and kill her, and Kennen picking up a nice kill.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate that Nidalee blew her flash right there. I think she was trying to heal herself, but her heal was still on cooldown. Also, if you look bot, though, Caitlyn is really zoning this Ashe out of lane, so...
Yes, it is 66 CS 252. She is starting to take a commanding lead in it, and it... Did Ashe? I thought Ashe started with boots. Oh, she does still have her boots. Okay. I didn't see him for a second. My mouse was hovering over them, so I couldn't see him. And look at all these traps from Caitlyn, just keeping her from even, like, coming through. Like, those traps are just so annoying, just because it's like its own zoning tool.
It is. And, you know, it's also putting a lot of pressure on Alistar right now, because Alistar hasn't really been able to gank, other than the 2 ganks on mid. And ever since then, it's been about a good 3 minutes that Alistar hasn't done anything. And Morgana actually does land a really good Dark Binding and Tormented Solo on that Ahri and does chunk her down to about little less than half. But Ahri's forced a pot. And she is going to try and use her Q to get some lifesteal. But actually might see an engage on Morgana right now. Karthus, I think, does have his ultimate. No, he doesn't. Karthus' ult's almost done, though.
And here they come. Lots of damage going on Ahri. Here comes
Ahri
Karthus.
does spot it.
There's a nice wall doing lots of damage. Does force Ahri to use her ult, but she does come back in with the damage. Morgana does ulti. Can she stop this Alistar? Alistar taking lots of damage, and Karthus, come on, press R. Press R, Karthus. It's not up. Oh my gosh, 22 seconds. But they are forced to go back. They don't know when Karthus' ultimate will be back up. But it looks like Alistar doesn't care. He can definitely heal himself up before then. But they might take this tower really quickly. And
yeah, it's going to be a really early mid tower. And while things are starting to slow down, we should take a look at the gold. If you do look right now, Caitlyn has 1,400 gold that she's sitting on. She does have a total of 3,400 gold. This Ashe only has a total of 2,500. So Caitlyn almost beating her by a full K. And that's really a lot early game. You do see that Morgana does have 2,900 versus the Ahri's 2,600. And we should just take a look at the top lanes. And you do have 3,100 from Nidalee compared to Ken's 30 or to 2,900. So top lane's actually really close right now because both of them have gotten a kill on each other.
The real difference definitely is that tower that was just taken at mid, and that will probably like really affect this upcoming dragon attempt with that dragon control.
And it's also going to be really tough on Ahri because now that means that her waves cannot be cleared by her first tower. So she's going to have to push the wave every time Morgana pushes it just a little bit.
And it looks like Ahri's heading down. There's the arrow onto Caitlyn down at bot lane, but all those traps are going to make it so hard. There's a nice flash from Soraka.
And actually,
not getting
you
hit
do
by the
see the Slag King using his Ghost Flash like we talked about. And, or just his Ghost actually in that situation, and it saved him really well.
Good use. Usually people who run Ghost Flash always end up using it at the same time. So good. You can really tell when somebody uses both summoners together pretty well by seeing that they don't use them both.
Yeah, he does a good job knowing that he's got 2 escape spells, but it looks like this Karthus is going to be caught by the Alistar, but nothing really is going to happen. They're just dancing around in the brush like they're great friends.
Ari's going to try and use this chance to push a tower. Missing a charm, so that's all on cooldown. Looks like Karthus wants to come in around to gank, but Karthus is going to get a surprise when two other members from Red Team show up. And here comes Alistar with the nice knock of doing so much damage. Morgana ulti goes out, but it's not going to tick down enough. There's Morgana will go down to that. And Karthus trying to pick up the kill on Janna, doing whatever he can to maybe
Karthus
pick
does
up
have
something.
his ult, so he could try and do as much damage and throw his ulti.
He does. He might be able to pick up the kill onto this. Yes, Janna is not there in time to shield.
Yeah, that was really close. We did see the Janna try and run up there as fast as she possibly could, but just wasn't fast enough. And actually, meanwhile, top, we do see Kennen throw down his ulti and throws an exhaust, or sorry, an ignite. Lily tries to negate the damage by throwing an exhaust on Kennen, but it's a little too late, and she does take a little too much. So Kennen is actually going to take the advantage in this lane, and it looks like those 80 runes on him are really helping him deal with this Nidalee.
And looks like bot lane has taken their tower too, and so that's two towers very early. 12 minutes, two towers already down for the red team. And so that's actually some interesting choice. Usually people don't like to take the towers that early, but I mean, giving those towers gives such good map control.
Yeah, and I think this Caitlyn feels like she's really strong right now, so she's miles ahead of this Ashe. She does have a BF sword. Ashe really can't afford. She has to farm for about a good 2 more minutes so she can get hers. And that's just going to make Caitlyn kind of really scary. And they can actually force an engagement on Dragon. They can force an engagement on, not Baron, but on a tower. And it's really unfortunate how this Ahri seems to be having connection issues. But I'm pretty sure she'll come back.
Most definitely. But they could definitely do that Dragon relatively quickly with the Karthus there. Karthus does help do Dragon pretty quickly. Looks like he almost has that Woda though. I mean, he has the revolver. Does he have enough gold for it?
And it actually looks like they're going to be pushing the top turret. So they're looking to increase their lead as much as possible.
I've seen this strategy before. I see it a lot from the Koreans actually.
And TSM loves to do that too. When you have an advantage, just take everything you can to increase your gold.
But like, I don't know if you've seen like any of the Korean play, but what they do is they actually try and take that bot tower quickly, and then they'll actually swap lanes, sending the AD duo top, and then they'll push the lane.
Also been running that too. Well, that's probably because they've been playing with Koreans so much, but CLG loves to run that, where they get hot shots to kill the lane as fast as possible, and then they send the AD top, so the AD still gets.
And they actually take the second tower, so this tower advantage is actually huge. That's 4 towers already before even 15 minutes are up. So that's a lot of global gold going out to everybody.
And you can see it in the score. Even though the blue team is down 2 kills, they're up 3k in gold. And that's huge.
And it's also part of this Karthus Morgana combo. They're able to push waves so quickly, and then Caitlyn's able just to freely just whack away at the towers.
Yeah, and right now, Ashe isn't even there.
Here comes Alistar trying to get an engagement. Does get the knock up onto Karthus, and looks like Karthus might go down. Here comes...
What a great arrow.
And here comes the Kennen ulti hitting 3 people, and it looks like Morgana and Karthus melt immediately. Soraka might get caught out now, but no, Nidalee is coming, trying to save them.
It was really unfortunate for the Morgana as she got hit by the Ashe arrow that was sent all the way from bot lane.
Oh, Nidalee actually jumping back in onto Kennen. Nidalee will pay for that, as Ahri will pick up another kill. So that's a 4-for-0 exchange in the favor of the red team. So the lead that blue team had is just now completely gone.
And that can be a Dragon attempt right there.
Very much so, but they might want to take towers. I mean, they are down in towers, and towers kind of looks attractive to them right now. They need to catch up. They need to get more map control. They can't just allow it. And looks like out comes Alistar and Janna with the gank, and Swag King is going to get knocked up. Nice flash. Trying to get out of there, but in the end, the flash was probably wasted. She was gonna die anyways.
Yeah, I don't think he realized that he had no idea that Janna was actually in that bush right next to him, so when he eat away, he just fell into their trap and was kind of stuck in a really bad situation. Really unfortunate for him.
Still haven't seen a Dragon attempt coming out at the 16-minute mark. That's very surprising considering how much aggression both teams have really been showing with towers. But it looks like, oh, nice Dark Binding, actually stopping a headbutt in its tracks.
Yeah, and one thing you'll probably see is that right when Caitlyn spawns, she's probably going to head straight to bottom and push that lane, since that's so much gold that the AD carry can get, and you're most likely going to see her go straight for that. And also, she already has her pickaxe, so she's a full item above this Ashe.
And it looks like Nidalee getting caught out, but she is in the brush, and so she gets so much movement speed from being in that brush, and we saw her just, it was just so amazing.
It looks like she's going to try and solo Dragon since there's no wards on it.
She definitely could. She definitely has the damage and the sustain to do it.
It looks like Ashe is going to actually run right past her.
No, she's coming to check. She does know, but there's Morgana helping her out. And Ash is telling her team, hurry, 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 please. But she's going to take some free hits on the Soraka. Soraka not really reacting. But
Yeah, Sockets, and they actually, okay, Ash almost stole that dragon, but
that would have been
Nidali
huge. But here comes Alistar coming in. He does come in without his team. Here comes the Karthus ulti because he is not there. Good use of Karthus ulti, but it looks like they will pick up the kill on Soraka. There's Janna saving Ash from the ace in the hole. And no, it looks like they will back off, but Ari is not going to engage on this. But up top, Alistar and Nidalee are still duking it out. Nidalee does so much damage to Alistar. Alistar ulti is on cooldown, and I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this Nidalee. And yeah, Nidalee will pick up the shutdown. That's going to be a lot of gold. Kennen and Karthus are duking it out up top, and it looks like Karthus saying, I can't get away. He's going to try and fight, do much damage as he can, but Kennen will pick up a kill using his flash to try and secure that.
Yeah, Karthus flashed over the wall thinking he was safe, but Kennen actually used his flash offensively to catch back up with them, and Kennen actually does pick up the kill.
So as we look,
I don't know if you caught it though, at that team fight at Dragon, that Ash got bursted down so fast, but she ends up using a heal and a Janna shield to actually save her, plus the Janna heal from her ultimate. So that, really good play by Janna.
Janna also blocking that ace in the hole ultimate from Caitlyn. So really saving them, really saving her AD, playing like a true support. Meanwhile, Ash.
Now that we do see Ash
Ari does get caught out. Does dodge the Dark Binding barely. Will she be able to flash over this wall? But no, Caitlyn will land the last auto attack as she flashes.
And that's for Caitlyn, because Caitlyn's actually technically down an item because she has... Well, they're about the same, because Caitlyn has 2 Dorans and Ash has a Vamps up there. That's just going to put Caitlyn more ahead. And actually, Caitlyn's going to pick up her Infinity Edge as she already has 1,700 gold that she's sitting on. So right now, she's just farming as much as possible. She's going to back right now, so you'll most likely see her pick up her Infinity Edge. You do see Karthus picking up his own blue buff, and the blue team is actually pinging Baron right now.
They are throwing a pink ward down on it, but the rest of red team is there. Nidalee does need to be careful. Does get headbutted over the wall, so nothing will happen.
But you know, she is going to have to kill this Ashe right now, and this Ashe can kill her because Ashe can kite her all day.
Although that brush, though, might make it hard. No, looks like Ashe is forced to back out. She is waiting for Alistar, and Nidalee needs to get out of there. Her ult is now on cooldown. There's the Ashe arrow, and it looks like Nidalee will go down to this. There's the brush speed. Can she do it? Does force a flash out of Ashe, and looks like Ari is there to pick up the kill.
Yeah, and meanwhile, though, Kennen is also dying, so this is going to negate any Baron attempt for the red team, because the red team really doesn't have any initiates. And Morgana did have...
There's a nice Dark Binding, and she also runs into the trap, taking so much damage, and Ari will go down immediately.
Great play by Morgana and a great wall by Karthus.
And they might be able to catch this Alistar. Dark Binding will be coming off of cooldown.
But great monsoon by Janna.
And there it is. It does catch her with the Dark Binding, and yes, they do pick up the kill on Alistar.
I just want to mention, one thing Slagging likes to do, which I don't understand why, is he rarely ever gets a Phantom Dancer. So I don't know if he runs attack speed runes, because if you look at his attack speed, it's really normal. So you'll probably see him pick up a really fast Last Whisper, since he feels like it's really good to do damage, you know, as an AD carry as fast as possible, since it kind of snowballs you and it makes you a better mid-game champion instead of late game, because you can actually do more damage per second even though you attack slower. So you will probably see him pick up a really fast Last Whisper. It's something he likes to do.
So Morgana actually starting to build. Looks like she wants to build that Zonas as fast as she can. She is skipping out on every other item now, but she definitely needs that Zonas quickly. Deal with that Kennen ulti and help her get her ult off without taking too much damage.
Yeah, and we're also going to see this Ari picking up her own blue buff. That's going to help her with that CDR and that mana regen. She's going to just be able to poke the team as much as possible. Kennen, on the other hand, is sitting on about 700 gold right now. And he's gonna... I don't know if he's gonna go for Zhonya's as fast as possible, or if he's gonna go for Rabadon's, but he probably will get a Zhonya, so it'll help him out a lot with his ultimate, so he doesn't get focused as much.
Hopefully he will get that Zhonya, as he won't benefit as much from the Rabadons this early. He definitely wants to get a little bit, maybe a little bit more AP before spending that much gold on an AP item.
Yeah,
and there's the Shirelius from Alistar trying to catch somebody. There's the arrow.
From the Ashe arrow. But like I said, this Caitlyn's actually going to do a lot more damage than this Ashe in a team fight, because Caitlyn is going for the early armor pen, and she already has a pickaxe. She's almost done with her Last Whisper right now, so when she gets that Last Whisper, she's going to be able to tear through anyone, and it's going to make her really scary.
And it looks like red team wants to try and poke this down around. There's a nice wall from Karthus actually slowing down the Ari. And here comes Nidalee from the side trying to flank. Alistar is forced to headbutt her away, trying to save the Ari. Nidalee is seen by these wards, and they want to try and go in on her, but if they do that, they could get flanked by the enemy team.
And actually, Kennen just used his flash.
Cannon flash for no reason. And there's a Dark Binding onto Ashe. Ashe is caught out of position, and they're going to capitalize on this. Oh, nice black shield.
And Kennen actually wasted his ult on Nidalee, and Nidalee exhausted Kennen right when he ulted, so Kennen's ult did nothing.
And here comes nice knockup from the Alistar, but it is not enough. He does not have the follow-up damage from Arian, so he will go down immediately. There's a Dark Binding hitting on Kennen, and Nidalee will pick up that
great
kill.
Snipe. And did you see how much damage that Caitlyn did?
Yo, they do so much damage, man.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this. I'm going to try to start doing this because he goes really early armor pen with that last Whisper so that he can just deal an immense amount of damage and win team fights because of it.
And, oh man,
they're picking up a kill on the Nidalee by igniting her and throwing her charm through the wall. So they're going to actually have to back off of this Baron attempt.
I don't think they had to back off. They have a Woda. Someone else could have tanked that. I do not agree with the backing off decision. They definitely had Caitlyn there with a lot of damage.
The only problem, though, is that you do see, like, you have Karthus and Morgana, and they're both really squishy right now. Well, Karthus does have a rod, but he was really low. Morgana's really squishy. She couldn't really tank it. She'd probably take 2 hits. It'd just be really dangerous since Ahri can ult over the wall and probably get a triple kill. Although it was on cooldown, so I don't think Blue Team really realized that. But it looks like this Caitlyn is going to probably... No, she doesn't have enough for her last Whisper yet, so she's going to continue farming, going to pick up this red buff, probably pick up the farm bottom.
She is definitely ahead of this Ashe. Ashe trying to do what she can to farm. She is heading back to buy. I don't know. She can only afford a dagger, though. I don't know what she's going to pick up.
It also looks like that Nidalee's going to be the one to take this red buff, so that's actually going to help Nidalee a lot, as she's just going to be able to chase anyone she wants with that constant slow.
Yeah, it looks like Ashe is going to go for the Zeal.
Yeah, and if you look at some items right now, Nidalee is working for her Triforce, and Ashe is going to try and get the early Zeal, but it's just not going to help her. It's not enough. If we do look at the gold counts, though, you do have 8,200 gold on the Caitlyn. It's actually pretty even right now in favor of the red team, actually, in constant gold. The only one that's really low in gold is the Janet. I don't think
there's the arrow on a Soraka. Will they capitalize on this? They do get the charm, and Kennen actually uses ult to pick it up. I do not know the Kennen ult was necessary. That'll be down for the next fight. And Ahri actually using her ult too.
Yeah, I just want to point out that the global gold is actually really misleading right now because, or the total gold is because the Janna isn't running gold per 5 runes, I think. And she's actually only at 4,000 gold. So I actually think red team is actually ahead in gold if you count that how much gold the Janna actually doesn't have. In terms of individual players, Caitlyn's really the only one destroying everyone in gold. So it's going to be interesting, actually. And that's why I think the game is actually still really close.
Definitely is. That Soraka definitely has two...
What though is that Ahri doesn't have her ultimate right now.
None of them do. Kennen uses ulti, Ashe used ulti.
Yeah, this could be a great fight if Morgana goes in.
And it looks like the kite from the everybody is just too strong, and it looks like, yes, he will get the nice knock-up combo, and Morgana tries to flash in an ulti, but just melts, but it looks like they will pick up Alistar, and Nidalee trying to get some free picks. Oh, that's going to be a dead Ashe. Ashe is dead. Can they pick up the kill on this Janna? That would be huge. They definitely want to get that Oracles that she has been clearing so many wards. Ahri's going to flash over the wall and pick up the kill on Nidalee, but it looks like Janna is just so hard to catch. She is so fast.
Right. Oh, the Caitlyn's actually really, really strong, and if you saw in that team fight, she was doing so much damage. She's actually giving her team the lead. Morgana actually virtually did no damage other than 2 Dark Bindings and maybe 1 Tormented Soil.
Are they going to pick up this tower? Looks like they are going to take down this tower. There's so much damage going on in it. And yet another tower taken from the red team. So much map control just kind of going in the favor of blue team.
Did this Janna start AP Janna to try and do more harass? Yeah, she did. She has 30 AP. She was really going for the early lane win against this Caitlyn. That's why she had 30 AP, but it really didn't work out for her, and she's suffering right now in the gold count. As you can see, Soraka has the full item over her, actually.
Soraka is clearing ward. Look at all these wards she's about to pick up. So many wards around Baron, and she's going to clear them all.
And she will kill the pink ward, and that's going to be huge.
But it looks like she does not have vision on anybody else. She really can't see anybody except Alistar. Oh, she did see Kennen and Janna on the map, too. But now it looks like she's not going to risk that. Doesn't want to get picked off with that Oracles. That Oracle's so big right now. And what Kenshi does, if Morgana does manage to steal on the blue buff, that is huge for Morgana.
Yeah, it's a really strong move, because that means Karthus has their blue buff, and Morgana has theirs. So the blue team is actually in a really strong position right now because they have double blue buff. And Soraka actually does clear the pink ward on Baron, so that's going to actually scare the red team as they have no wards right now.
And yes, there looks like Alistar is heading over there.
And red team is pinking Baron. They're really scared. There's no one on the map. They're really scared. Someone's gonna try and ward it. Ari's actually gonna queue the. Oh, Ari wards it. Okay.
Alright, does throw a ward down. Blue team unfortunately does not have any wards on it either, so they did not
And
know
it
about
looks like
anybody.
they're pinging the Caitlyn as Ash wants to really fire an arrow to start an initiate, but um, it's not gonna work out.
Definitely not. I think Caitlyn maybe needs to build a QSS now. That would really help her out against like all the CC that Alistar, Ashe, and Ahri, and even Kennen have to offer. So
Yeah, but
maybe hopefully that will be our next item.
the thing is that she's been sitting so far back in the team fights that she can't really even be focused, and she's just pumping out so much DPS. I don't know if she necessarily needs the QSS, as long as she's playing really smart. But this literally looks like she's gonna get caught right now.
Nidalee
You
is
can see
so
the
hard to
whole
catch
team at
though. No one else is there to follow up. Kennen is coming up though. Kennen, can he get the dash? He probably has flash up. Does Kennen have
No, it's
Kennen?
Nidalee hit the brush. She's gonna move way too fast.
Yeah, Kennen does have
Nidalee
flash though.
also,
No,
yeah,
he's
Nidalee
not gonna
doesn't
do
have
it.
a Trinity Force yet too, so she doesn't get the extra movement.
Looks
speed from
like Karthus is caught out of position though. He is so far away from any member of his team, and he will get arrowed, and they're gonna easily pick him off. Oh, Kennen, why is Kennen ulti?
Karthus did the smart thing right now, trying to do as much damage as possible to help his team to prevent any Baron attempts by ulting. So
Kennen did use his ulti now, so like they can go in without really any fear of like a giant AoE stun.
And meanwhile, while all this was happening, Caitlyn was pushing mid, so it did force the whole red team to back, and Caitlyn looks like she is going to...
And looks like Morgana gets caught out of position as well. There's the flash for Caitlyn. Alistar is whacking on him. Morgana gets a pretty good ulti, catching that Ashe, doing so much damage to her. The Tormented Soil and the Ignite will tick down on her and kill her. The bananas are being thrown at Ahri. Oh, the spear just barely misses her. Probably would have
Also,
been
one
enough.
thing to note is that Alistair is going a Trinity Force, and a great snipe by Morgana as she lands the Dark Binding and the Tormented Soil, but it's not going to be enough to kill the Kennen.
And looks
She
like they
does
are
get
going to
the-
be turning on to the Morgana. No, Alistar really wants her. The Dark Binding goes to go on to Alistar, and I do agree with the AD build. Allows her to do some good damage to the Caitlyn. So I actually kind of agree with that, as he kind of soloed her.
He was pretty much... Yeah, you saw that too. He was soloing her and pretty much prod her out of the fight, so... It was bad positioning, though, by the blue team.
And it looks like Ahri's going to catch Morgana with the charm.
And
Ahri gets hit by the Dark Binding, and she will get bursted down. And Morgana
Yeah, that was just a great play by Morgana. She didn't really panic. She knew that her teammates were right around her, and so she does throw the Dark Binding Tormented Soil combo on the Ahri after Ahri bursts her, and they end up picking up the kill.
And looks like they are going to try and secure this red buff for themselves. Hopefully Nidalee can get this. This will be a great buy, big deal, big buff for Nidalee. She will get that slow when she pounces onto somebody, and yes, she will get that.
And right now, Slide King is just going to try and maximize as much damage output as he can, apparently. It looks like he's going to probably go for a Bloodthirster. So, I haven't seen him go Phantom Dancer in such a long time, and he's doing really well for his team. So, this is really interesting to me.
Interesting buys all around. Definitely breaking away from that IE Phantom Dancer build that everybody seems to like to build. But
And it looks like he will be picking up the red buff, so... And I think he feels like maybe if he has Flash Ghost that he doesn't necessarily need the Phantom Dancer for the movement speed since he has so much escape, that he can maximize his damage output. Even though he's not really critting, he's hitting so much, you know. He's hitting for about 300 every hit, especially with that BF sword, because he has so much armor pad.
and Morgana does also pick up the blue buff, so that's going to be very big for her. Those Dark Bindings going to have such a nice low cooldown, as they only an 8-second cooldown right now, and that's so big.
Yeah, it also looks like Kennen did really want to get that Rabadons for more damage, and it's been showing that's been hurting him a lot because he's not going to be able to Zonias within those team fights, and he gets bursted down really fast. While Morgana, on the other hand, does pick up his Zonias, allowing her to initiate any team fight she wants because she can just pop that Zonias and get that 2 seconds of invulnerability from the active, giving her a really strong team fight presence.
And while red team was kind of dawdling around, blue team was picking up the map objectives. Let's pick up Dragon for themselves, and they're going around clearing wards out. Caitlyn steals that from Soraka. Soraka very sad now.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and force a Baron, but I don't think Soraka has an Oracle. No, she still has her Oracle.
She
so
still
yeah,
has oracles.
They're going to clear out...
There's a nice Dark Binding on the Janna, poking her down pretty hard. Look at that, half health already. Just one quick chunk. And,
yeah, you throw another word on Baron. And that's one of the problems right now that blue team is suffering from, is that they actually have no vision on Baron, so they can't see when the other team wards it unless they're physically standing there themselves, which they aren't. So it is causing a lot of
But
problems.
they are able to poke down. Looks like they are going to start it up. Italy is starting to poke it down. Now
Yeah,
they see that ward and,
and a
ooh, get a
great
nice...
tormented soil. Yeah, that was a great binding and tormented soil. There's a lot of damage on that cannon right now. So Ash does throw her hawk shot. Does see that they are fleeing, and Morgana. See, there you go. Morgana does, or sorry, Soraka does the right thing. She does throw a ward on Baron, so now she can see whenever the enemy team throws a ward down, knowing that she can clear it.
Bot
And it
lane
looks like
is
the
have a
red team,
big wave, and so it looks like Karthus is going to head down, try and clear that up, try and get that
yeah,
farm, but red team might want to capitalize on this.
and you know what though? It's not that bad of a decision that he's doing it because Ari right now is at their blue, so he's not really suffering. He is getting a lot of farm. That was about 300 to 400 gold, and that is a lot of money.
Look at all those traps from the team. Look at that, all that
At
poke damage. Oh my gosh, so much damage.
851 damage off of a crit. Um, really punishing them. He Caitlin's kind of saying, "Hey, if you step on any of my traps, I'm gonna punish you for it." And that Alistair is actually really low because of it. And Soraka again clearing out the wards on Baron. So
And with Morgana with that blue buff, she's able to just constantly throw out those dark bindings, intermittent souls without any fear of losing any mana. She
Morgana
does get
does
hit
get.
with the charm though. No, they
It's
will
not.
not follow up on it. They cannot. They don't have the people. Oh, nice dark binding. They follow up with this? There's the arrow going out onto Nidalee.
And Alistair just takes too much damage before he ults, and actually losing so much.
Nice flash though, getting out of there. Ashe is getting very low, but the ult will tick down onto her, and looks like they are going to switch their focus onto Janna and Ahri, and they both go down very quickly. Looks like Alistar is the last person left, but that crit is just
And
too much.
that is the problem when you go for Rabadons instead of Zhonya's. That Kennen just got instantly bursted and exhausted, meaning that his ultimate did no damage, and blue team was just able to do whatever they want. But if you had to throw out an MVP, who would you say?
Who would I say? Who would I
It
say?
was between Morgana and Caitlyn, although I felt Morgana did so many good snipes with her Dark Binding and Tormented Soils that she really did help early game pokes.
Oh yeah, she definitely hit so many good ones. I don't remember who got the kills at the beginning.
Um, it was Soraka who got first blood, that's why she had a Fearless Stone.
That's right. Soraka got that invasion at the beginning was like a complete snowball, like just in favor for blue team. I had to give an MVP. I would definitely say Morgana, because just those sick dark bindings, just like over the walls. She definitely timed those perfectly. Definitely knows that champion, those speed of those skill shots very well, and definitely was like a big factor in them winning that
I
game.
also want to point out one more thing before we go. I hope this becomes like a new meta, because I've been watching him do this, and he's been dealing out so much DPS by not really getting that Phantom Dancer and having double escape spells. But if you watch that game, that Caitlyn really was like the true reason why they won late game, because, or even, it was more technically middle game, because Caitlyn was just able to pump out so much DPS in such a short amount of time. I mean, she was critting for like 700 when she would hit, and it would just deal so much poke damage that, you know, the red team couldn't really do anything about it. They had no answer for Caitlyn. She was protected by the Morgana, the Soraka, and the Karthus that, you know, there was just nothing that the red team can do.